everybody, this is Angela Savage, the daughter of IndyCar driver Swede Savage. It's time to watch stories from motorsports. My buddy, Doug Kenny, loves to share the journey of people in racing, and he is an amazing dude. Drivers, owners, fans, and team members, watch the SFM podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Stories from Motorsports. I'd like to thank my buddy Josh Maid for the YouTube work he did years ago that inspired me to create this platform. I'd like to thank my buddy Victor Sifton for convincing me to get back into it after my hiatus from 2017 to 2019. I have a very special treat for you all today with an amazing journey from an amazing racing figure. Drivers, start your engines. Got it.
Just for that reason.
The worst crash I saw as a race fan was a race that I was actually supposed to go to at first, but wasn't able to make it because of just some personal stuff going on. But I was going to attend that championship IndyCar race in 2011 when Dan Wheldon passed away. I remember watching it on television because I had a friend that was working security for the race. And he was in the turn where the crash had happened. And so I remember watching the race and then all the talk about how, the speeds were a concern and all that. Then the wreck happened, which I kind of predicted based on what I knew and what I was hearing. And then I saw the video of Dan Wheldon, running up into that car and then flying like an airplane into the fencing and then hitting the track again. And even though they never announced it directly, I sort of knew that was not survivable. And it was made more obvious with the fact that the race wasn't continuing even after the red flag. The fact that they were not trying to get the race going again over the next few hours, that's when I knew that, that Wheldon had not survived. And I just remember thinking, holy cow, that was, you know what I mean? You just have that feeling.
So, the fortunate thing for most of us pro drivers now is it's really never been safer than it has been the last several years because of things like more stringent rules for safety, safer barriers, runoff areas that have been exposed, catch fences. Cars are kind of built more for safety and dissipation of energy now. Even the production race cars, they're made like that now. So there's a lot more people that I'm sure in the 40s and 50s, there were people that did not race cars because they were afraid of getting hurt. And I don't think that you have that thought process very often as much in cars, just because it is that much safer. So you see a lot more participation than you ever have in the past, a lot more hobbyists that are doing it, a lot more track day people are doing it, spending time in cars, walking away from incidents because the cars are a lot safer, and things like that. So I think there are times that when bad things do happen and someone does get, killed, it hits everybody pretty hard. It brings you back to, oh, this is dangerous. It can be dangerous. Whereas, since the beginning of racing or automobile racing from the early 1900s, for about 75, 80 years, it wasn't like that. It's like at any point you would better be prepared to not make it. And, now you have a much different approach. So, I think you have to take that good with the bad. As a pro driver who makes my living traveling and doing this, I don't like to think about like what could happen. I rarely do. But at the same time, I am fortunate and thankful that I am safer in my race car than I am walking down the street most of the time. I'm safer than I am in the airport. There's a likelihood of me getting injured in my race car that's much smaller than me getting mugged in San Francisco. So I think that's a benefit to what we have now in today's motorsports than they didn't have 30 years ago.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please hit like and subscribe if you did so, and please continue supporting our amazing guest. And everybody, we'll see you next time on SFM.
Hi, this is Ted Warner speaking. While the checkered flag is waved for this program, stay tuned for next week for the next episode of SFM. Thanks to Doug Kenny for what he does for motorsports.